Hello everybody. Welcome to the 16th round of the Hardee's National Series. We're here at Cleveland getting ready to get this race going. Noah Hart leads this race from Poland. We're going green flag racing here at the airport strip. And going down into turn 1. Oh, Corey Williams sends it around the outside, but RJ Bishop and Daniel Day are going to get a better run through the middle. And it looks like Noah Hart's not even going to lead the first lap. RJ Bishop is pulling away down the backstretch. Corey Williams going to try to do something around the outside. Looks like he can't get a run. RJ Bishop. Ooh, Corey's going to send it down his inside, but RJ Bishop's going to keep the lead. And on lap 1, so far no one gets hit or anything up at the front. A little further down in the top 10 though, there was some contact as Scott Roush just spins off the back of Bobo Jones and BBJ just runs right into him. Same with Hannah Allen running right into BBJ. And luckily, I have no idea if anyone else gets... Oh no! Logan Cloud upside down going into the last corner. What a weird wreck. Let's go on board with Patrick Smith. I know you won't be able to see the initial wreck, but you get a decent idea of how the 60 car flipped over at least and how he missed it. Because this is an insane view of that wreck. Man, he just gets so close to him. And has to bob and weave around him just to not run into him, but looks like a lot of people's days are done. A lot of good cars' days are done already on lap 1. On lap 2, we had a little small crash here in one of these corners. I believe Ross Jackson he just comes up in front of the 8 car. And you'll see Joseph Srigley, Edward Ziemba also piled right on into it, and Lane Sanders just runs right into Edward Ziemba. The 74 gets involved, same with the 18, the 43. 35 just barely avoids any sort of incident. Patrick Smith taking this incident as an opportunity to gain some spots by not slowing down. And we already got some torn up race cars, and it's not even lap 3. So, I don't know. There's not really heavy damage to either one of these guys. Austin Miller really the only one that was actually affected by that. Maybe even Lane Sanders if we could find him. Lane Sanders is up here. And his hood is a bit dented, to be honest. I think he actually was the one who came out the worst out of that one, but he's still able to keep up with the 84 on the straightaway, so he must not be hurting that bad. William Brock has been on a bit of a string of consistency lately, to be honest, as I believe he just made a move for the 13th position on Julio Caesar. And I just wanted to give a quick mention to this 88 team because they're one of the newer teams in the field and they've been doing an amazing job. William Brock obviously is probably a big part in that, but either way, you still have to have a pretty good car to take the car up to the front. So I just wanted to give a mention of how good this 88 team has been doing the last few weeks and how strong they are, because they're running inside the top 15 once again. Probably going to try to turn that into a top 10 run. We'll see what happens later on in the race, though. As there's not really much to talk about throughout this field. It's spread out up at the front because RJ Bishop is just kind of holding his place. Corey Williams can't really seem to make any ground on him. Neither can the pole sitter Noah Hart or Jack Porkins, as I figured Sean Angel would probably be a little bit more of a contender today after Watkins Glen, but I don't know if they really have this setup figured out. Who knows what they got going on. Either way, Sean Angel is usually a front runner at these road courses, so I expect him to be pretty high up. Srigley and Lane Sanders darted to pit road real quick. I believe it was to fix the damage that they got from being involved in that wreck, and Lane Sanders He's got no hood on out there. I believe he's still in the lead lap, though, after he comes out of here, because, yeah, they actually beat RJ Bishop out. So we'll see if they can stay ahead of him. If they can, honestly, there might be some strategy coming into play here with some of these wrecked cars, because they pitted real early. And they're going to probably be pitting a few times throughout the race just to get some more parts off of the cars and to reduce some damage. But either way, I mean, they could still play into the strategy of these leaders. I wasn't meaning that they would benefit from anything, but they would probably hurt the strategy of the leaders, if anything, because they would be interfering with pit stops and kind of in the way. But who knows, to be honest, because I don't even think they're catching up to Srigley right now. It's kind of just a stalemate up at the front. Brandon Crasta going down the inside with the 5 of Austin Rogers. Rogers actually having a really good run in 18th place. And Crasta trying to make moves on him, but just can't do anything. It's so hard to pass here because of how wide the groove is. You can't really get a good exit if you get a good entry or center. So the car you're passing will always have an advantage around the outside. Will Goss, he's also having a good run after a poor run at Memphis. Blowing his engine and not really running up towards the front that whole time. Having kind of a rebound day here at Cleveland. He's been doing pretty good at these road courses, and one would say this is his home track because this track is in Ohio and he is from Ohio, so I would think that he would consider this his home track, but who knows. There's not really too many racetracks in Ohio to call home on the Hardee schedule, so he's kind of going to try to go all out for his home crowd. And speaking of going all out, Aria Carmona actually doing an amazing job. I know 23rd doesn't really seem too fantastic, but this is only her 3rd Hardee's National Series start. And she's running ahead of people like Cole Baker and Tim Fiegel, even though Fiegel's got damage. It doesn't look like it's actually really affecting him too much because he's going down the inside of Cole Baker as we're talking about it. And, yeah, Aria just been keeping it clean. Watkins Glen, I don't think it was really the best day for her. She kind of got into a wreck early on and didn't recover from the damage, but she's doing a seemingly good job right now keeping up with everybody. Just making a sudden jump from trucks to Hardee's is a really difficult thing to do, and she's been handling this transition pretty smoothly apart from a couple DNQs. But Aria Carmona showing her skill set here early on at Cleveland. Tyler Black down the inside of William Brock here in turn 1. And Black, I don't know if he's going to get the run down the backstretch. I think that's all Brock's, and Brock might take that position all for himself. I believe this is the battle for 10th place. Yes, it is. And like I said, this Shade Benyako Racing team probably was aiming for the top 10 when they were up in 15th or 13th place, excuse me. And here he is, all the way up here in the top 10. So doing an amazing job for this Shade Benyako team here on the road course. And William Brock having another strong run once again. I also want to give a quick shout out to Malik Nevins here. He's the 2020 Napa Truck Series Laguna Seca winner. So I'm not really surprised that he's in the field at a road course, but this is Gatlin Downey Incorporated's first race, I believe, as a team in the Hardee's National Series. If I'm wrong, one of the viewers, please correct me. But I believe this is their debut. I don't think this is Malik's debut, though, in the Hardee Series. Either way, he's doing a fantastic job right now. This team wasn't really up to pace at the start of the weekend, but they haven't been last. I think that's been their goal, is to just be not last. And they're running ahead of a Roush family car right now and a CM car. I believe they have damage, though, so I wouldn't really take that as much of a compliment as it actually is, but just being in the field, I believe Malik and the Gatlin Downey team's happy. So shout out to these guys. Just a lot of new teams trying to make an effort in the series. And this is one of them that actually got their foot in the door. So congratulations to Gatlin Downey and Malik Nevins. RJ Bishop's kind of getting held up by some lap traffic here with the two cars that he couldn't even make any real ground on. They've just kind of gotten backed up into these two just because of their pace. And Corey Williams, he's trying to make a move down the inside, but Noah Hart, he's going to try to make his own move down the inside of Corey Williams. And Noah Hart dive bombing it in the final couple corners. But Hart couldn't make any move stick. The Watkins Glen winner, he's probably fired up after that last road course race. Says, "Ooh, man, Sean Angel and Jack Porkins were side by side in those last couple corners. That could have been really bad." But RJ Bishop, he was really struggling to get up to these lap cars, man. And he just barely got around Srigley. Srigley is really just letting him on by right now, being a courteous lap car. And speaking of, as I say that, he doesn't let Corey Williams by it. Just commentator's curse right there. I guess Joseph had a change of heart. Nah, I think he's gonna. No, he's still not letting them go. I think Joseph really wants to keep this track position or help his teammate at least. I don't know. We've seen a few cases of helping teammates. We saw it in the Sony Cup Series with Monster Energy Racing, and we're seeing it in this race as well with the Fisher Motorsports cars trying to use their lapped and slower cars to their advantage and put other cars behind. So it almost worked. It almost worked because Noah Hart put a few good dives on Corey Williams as well. So a lot of team strategies going on out here in FBRL. Maybe they're taking a note at F1. Who knows? It's been a couple laps since anything on track has happened at all. There's been no on track passes for any position for a couple laps now. Apart from the 7 and the 88 moving up. I don't really know who pitted, but somebody from the top 10, I believe, pitted. Either that or they just kind of fell back. Either way, there's not a lot going on in this race. At least until now. Because the pit stop phase is coming up, and there's probably going to be a few different strategies. There's going to probably be a 2 or 3 stop, and there's probably going to be a 1 stop. I don't know how many guys can take the 1 stop because the tire wear is pretty abrasive around here, and it would take a lot to have any sort of tire saving strategy work here, but you can make it work if you stretch it. So we are coming up onto the strategy phase of the race. I believe the window is about 15 to 16 laps, if not earlier. I'm not in the car, so I can't check that, but hey, these guys know way better than I do, so I'll leave it up to them and when they head to pit road for me to say when their pit window is. But RJ Bishop can't really put a dent in Lane Sanders right now. He got around Srigley, and right as I was talking about, I don't even know when they're pitting. They're pitting right now. So yeah, they are pitting earlier than I expected them to, but it's lap 14, so this is about the pit window. These guys are probably trying to undercut the 71, considering they can't really make a pass on track. It is very hard to make a pass here, considering how high the tire wear is, and well, how long the straightaways are, because it's pretty hard to beat a Ford down a straightaway, and obviously a Turner Performance car is going to lead at a track that is going to require very, very long straightaways. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do if the 71 can keep pace, because if he keeps this pace up, he'll be able to stay out and make a 1 stop work. So we'll see what happens. 1 lap later, RJ Bishop, he still hasn't pitted, and 1 lap is a pretty big distance around Cleveland, so I don't know. I don't know what the 71 team's trying to do. They could be performing a 1 stop, or they could just be doing a really late 2 stop. Who knows? We will see as the pit lane is coming up. So is the 71 going to make a dive down? Yes, he is. He's going to take the other line, and he's going to make it into pit road. RJ Bishop from the lead. going to pit. We'll see if the undercut works. I think this Turner Performance team might know a little more than I do, because I personally think the undercut would work around here. It works in Formula One. It works in road racing all across the world. So I would think that it would work here, but sometimes the strategies are a bit unorthodox. As Aria Carmona, I believe, is actually staying out. Yes, she is. She scored in 5th right now, but she'll be somewhere up in the top 5. She crosses the start-finish line, 3rd place. But she's going to pass the 71. So Aria Carmona is the presumable leader right now. Hasn't led a lap officially, but is the leader. RJ Bishop coming out of the pits not too far behind her. But Carmona, could she be doing the one stop today? Tyler Black and William Brock jumped Daniel Day, and Daniel Day was in the top 5. I'm not sure if these guys undercut or what, but either way, they definitely jumped the 42 for position, and the 41 and the 44. So if you have a 40 in your number, you definitely lost out on the pit stops here, because the 7 and the 88 definitely just jumped these 3 guys. And wow, I did not expect to see a Hydra car and a Shade Benyako car up fighting for a top 5, but nevertheless, we are here watching it happen. So Aria Carmona comes into the pits, finally surrenders her lead, but she never led a lap officially, so can't really say she was the leader. But either way, she was in the lead for that little bit, so we can actually credit her as one, I guess. Either way, RJ Bishop assumes it once again, and Nick Breeding is in the catbird seat once again in P2. Or wait, no, the catbird seat is 3rd place, but that would only be if 1st and 2nd place were right near each other. I screwed up my analogies. He's got silver once again, is what I meant to say. Either way, Nick Breeding in position to win. Same with Kev Shearer, Bobo Jones, Corey Williams, William Brock, Tyler Black, like I mentioned. Sean Angel getting around Daniel Day for position. As I won't go through the rest of the field till this battle stops, but they're going 3 wide. Jake Porkins shoving it in the middle, trying to get something done, going down the inside of Sean Angel. Angel's going to get the run out of the corner, but Jack Porkins looks like he's got a strong car and can keep it down the inside. And Jack Porkins making a move for what I believe was 10th place right there. Sean Angel losing some spots, didn't make a good adjustment. Austin Rogers in P12 running ahead of Noah Hart. Noah just kind of been struggling today after he got the pole. I expected him to be a contender out there, but he definitely lost out on some position due to some strategy. So there's Jake West, Cole Baker, Julio Caesar, Eric Burton, Matt DeLeo, and Jacob Hart rounding out the top 10, or top 20, excuse me. As Brandon Crasta, he's trying to do another last to first challenge, I guess, because he started a little bit deeper back in the pack, and he's going to try to make another charge up, just like he did at Watkins Glen. As the 5 is pitting right there. Tim Fiegel now into the top 20. As Nick Breeding just pitted from 2nd. Daniel Day also just pitted. What is going on? The 0 pitted as well. Why are they pitting? The 88 and the 7 also just pitted. Same with, I think I mentioned the 5 and the 84, 94. There's a few people coming in the pits, but we just had pit stops. Why are all these guys pitting? I believe the 19 also did the same exact thing. Same with the 2. And the 71, the leaders also coming into the pits. And oh my gosh, what are these guys doing? They're just kind of giving this race to anyone who didn't overcut. I'm not sure what's going on right now, to be honest. I think Bobo Jones assumed the lead. Yeah, if anything, Bobo Jones would be the leader, because he was in like 3rd or 2nd at the time. I'm not even sure where he was, but he assumes the lead now, as long as he doesn't pit within the next couple laps. I don't know if they're trying to cover off fuel and couldn't make it to the end or what, but those guys might have just sealed their own fate. There were people that undercut them that I don't even think pitted as early as them. So, man, what a bummer for some of those teams to have to come into the pits, whether it was optional or not. I believe that's a big strategy blunder. As these other guys, they don't care. They're benefiting from it. People like Krasta, who are up in the 12th now after they were just in the top 20, top 25. They really don't care. They're running up in the top 10 now. So this race is getting pretty interesting. I think I don't know who's going to win this thing at this point because there's so many strategies going on. I don't even think my brain can keep up with it. So I just want to go over where the provisional leader, quote unquote, would be at and where he came out at. He came out ahead of Aiden Shepard in 15th place. Carmona is 14th. And we know she was the last car to completely stay out and go the long distance. I have a theory that these guys are trying to cover off the 51 because they know what she's doing. Because there is no way that these guys just pitted from the top 5 laps after they pitted for absolutely no reason. I believe they're trying to get an advantage on this 51 because she's on the superior strategy right now. And this might be the race for the win. The race for 13th might be the race for the win. Who knows? But right now we're going to cover the actual race for the win with Bobo Jones up at the front, Corey Williams in second place. Corey is not really a big fan of these road courses, but Cleveland, he gets it done here. I think he brought the 5-hour energy car to this race last season as well and performed pretty well with it, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to try to replicate the same exact magic and get by Bobo Jones if he can, because right now he is closing them down. There's going to be 10 laps to go pretty soon. It's not going to be next time by, excuse me. I was going to say that, but in a couple laps time it will be 10 laps to go. Right now it's 12 laps to go. So Bobo just doing everything he can. 12 laps on a road course is basically just another short race. So these guys definitely have a long way to go in terms of mileage, but in terms of actual laps, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. And I just tuned back into the battle for the lead, but as soon as I did, Bobo Jones hit pit road. So I'm not sure if my theory is correct, but it could be, because I don't see any logical reason to be pitting one more time apart from trying to cover somebody off. Because Corey Williams now assumes the lead, but he's like 10 seconds in front of the next car. So he's got to be coming in at some point in the race, because I don't think these guys can make it to the end on fuel. I think that they're short pitting, but they definitely can't make it to the end. So the 14 might hit pit road soon. Same with some of these guys back here, like maybe the 41, the 12, or the 44. 16 having an outstanding run so far. Same with the 28, the 54, and the 11, and the 05. They're all having great runs if they finish where they are right now. But I don't know. It's kind of unlikely now the way that this race is folding out. I'm not really sure what direction this is going in. But Corey Williams is definitely going in the right direction as he's staying in the lead and holding these guys off, continuing to put a gap into the field, trying to make his strategy work the best that he can. Because I don't even think Corey knows what's going on. He probably doesn't even know he's in the lead right now. Yeah, Corey is 10 seconds ahead of his teammate, actually, who is in second place. So, if they finish where they stand right now, Curtis Racing might be doing a rain dance, but these guys will be finishing pretty good, to be honest. First and second, not bad for Curtis Racing. I want to give another shout out to Malik Nevins of where he's running right now. I don't know if this is only because of strategy, but he is in P20 on the charts right now, and Malik Nevins having an outstanding day, just keeping it clean and his pace has been pretty good at times. He's been matching up with a top 25 on the time charts earlier on in the race. I don't think he's doing that right now exactly, but even if this isn't a pit stop phase, they are doing a great job at keeping this 35 up here. Shout out to Gatlin Downey Incorporated for making this race and making the most of this opportunity for them, to be honest. If they finish where this is right now, this would be a fantastic run for this brand new team. So fingers crossed for the 35. As actually I just jinxed him, commentator's curse. He comes into the pits, but either way, having a clean, solid day, keeping it on the track, not getting into anything. Good day for this team regardless. Corey Williams continues to... Never mind. I was going to say he continues to stay out, but as I said that he pulled into the pits, the other guys had just come in. So who is that going to leave for the lead? Let's see. Daniel Day, maybe? I believe Daniel Day might assume the lead. No, wait, no, he's actually... Oh, these guys are pitting as well. Daniel Day, I thought was going to be the leader, but he's not even on the lead lap. Well, I believe that just leaves the 05, maybe? The 51, I guess, would be the leader. Coming into the last corner, Aria Carmona, if she doesn't come into the pits, she might be our brand new race leader over RJ Bishop. Tim Foster just pitted from what would have been second. What an awful decision. But yeah, this is definitely the race for the win now. Aria Carmona over the 71 of RJ Bishop. It says 4th and 5th on the time charts, but they didn't get to pass the top 3 before they even got there. So Nick Breeding is in 3rd, Bobo Jones 4th. Corey Williams actually comes out in 5th ahead of Kev Shearer. He's going to use that draft down the backstretch to his advantage. Tyler Black in P7. William Brock in 8th. Jack Porkins in 9th. And Sean Angel would have just made the pass for the top 10 on Noah Hart right there. I can't really believe I'm saying this right now. But Aria Carmona is about to come by and lead her first lap in the FBRL, but this might not be the last if she can keep ahead of RJ Bishop, as this 51 team has just pulled the rug out from under everybody and stayed out. I mean, oh, she goes off track as we're talking about it, but she could pit anytime. By the way, like, she could literally pit next lap, so I don't know how much longer she's going to be up here. But the 71 is definitely closing in, especially after that little incident she just had right there. But Nick Breeding, Bobo Jones, and maybe even Corey Williams are seeing this as an opportunity to try to get by RJ Bishop, because even if Carmona doesn't win this race, RJ would be the leader after that, and if she holds him up, that backs RJ into everybody else. Because right now, RJ is definitely faster than Carmona. Like, Carmona's on old tires, RJ just pitted, and RJ's been the leader all day. But this track has been insanely hard to go down someone's inside on. I mean, they can just cover you off by getting a run down the straightaway. Because the straightaways are so long and the corners are so wide, the exit of the corner is basically a straightaway. If you go around the outside of it, at least. So there's not even any banking to upset the car or anything to make a line, so you can kind of go anywhere around here. This is a flat airport. It's a flat airport strip, so you really can just go anywhere. As she's really using these lap cars to her advantage, I believe, by just using the draft and pulling back away from the 71. I don't know if this 71 is saving or genuinely just not able to run down this 51 car, but he's definitely got more pace under the hood, or at least should have it. Either way, Breeding, it looks like he's visibly getting closer, as well as the gap on the time charts is getting smaller. So could we see a 3-car battle for the win, maybe even more, if they all come up here and get to this 51, who's just kind of chilling behind 2 lap cars right now. This is kind of where she was running in the first place, so I don't think she's even... I don't even know if she realizes she's in the lead like Corey did, but if she does, this is fantastic for this team and this driver. Well, Carmona kind of just ran up on Blaze McKinney, and she goes wide into this corner, and oh, RJ Bishop almost ran into her, and that gives Nick Breeding the opportunity to go down the inside. Breeding trying to make it stick. He's going to try to go around the outside here as well. And this is probably going to go into his favor because this is a long sweeping corner up here. But oh, he wobbled, but he's still going to get a run out of it. I don't know if he's going to clear the 71, but he's definitely going to be putting some in-ground on him as they're just letting this 51 pull away. This is not ideal for these guys, but Nick Breeding gets the move done regardless. I think these guys have the pace because Carmona's missing corners and struggling for grip, but they just can't get around her for some reason. They can't make the pass. So Carmona either doing an amazing defensive drive or there's just no grip out there on this racetrack right now. Breeding has definitely found something in this car because he is coming to life. He is running down the 51 and he's trying to go down her inside. But Aria's actually going to make it stick and keep the nose in there. She is fighting for her life right now, putting up a really, really good effort to keep the lead even if she does go into pit road. This is an amazing effort to keep this lead away from a Rodriguez racing car, a Turner Performance car, another Rodriguez car, and a Curtis racing car, all in the top 5, nipping at her heels. Man, this is an insane performance by this 51 team. This team, I don't even think is in the top 40 in owners points right now. And if they win this race, this would do absolute wonders for Flipside Motorsports and just in general the whole entire team of Flipside, because this would be their first win as an organization in the Hardee's National Series, and Nick Breeding is trying to make that not happen. But Aria Carmona is doing an absolutely fantastic job at keeping this lead. There's only 3 laps to go, and she is still out here keeping ahead of this number 20. Just kind of been using the lap cars to her advantage on the straightaways and doing her thing in the corners. She's making this work. She's definitely making this one-stop work. I think if she can hold these guys off and win this race, that would be absolutely fantastic. Coming into the last 2 corners for the last 2 laps. Oh my gosh, everyone behind Carmona just went wide. And I believe Nick Breeding's actually being challenged. If not, RJ Bishop and Bobo Jones are going at it, and Breeding was going defensive over his teammate. I'm not really sure why. You wouldn't want to help your teammate, but nevertheless, Breeding defending his position as he should. And someone defending their position way better than they should be is definitely the 51. Because she's kind of creating a truly train. And it's backed up all the way to Tyler Black in P7. But if they can't make the pass, I mean, she's going to keep the lead. They're not even making any ground on her. They're about a second behind. And I'm not sure they're going to get near her unless they pull something out of the hat. Coming into the final couple corners, the last sector of the racetrack, Aria Carmona is going to be taking the white flag in this number 51 Skull Candy Supra. And if you would have told me personally that this car was going to be anywhere near victory lane, or at least in a shot to win the race, I would have kind of laughed at you. But this Flipside Motorsports team has just kind of pulled this one stop out of nowhere. No one else performed this strategy. Tip Foster was the only other one that would have done this, but he came into the pits from 2nd place. And Aria Carmona is leading down the backstretch. Nick Breeding can't seem to do anything. All she's doing is hitting her marks, and just this pace has actually just been phenomenal to keep ahead of these guys, really, on old tires. And I'm at a loss for words. I think Aria Carmona might be pulling into the final sector of this racetrack. As long as nothing goes wrong, I don't want to jinx anything. But Aria Carmona, the final sector of the racetrack. Nick Breeding, he is visibly closer, but how close is he to making a move? Coming onto the final straightaway at Cleveland. This is big. This is really big for this team. The final 2 corners coming up. Aria Carmona, is she going to get through them mistake-free? Yes, she will. Nick Breeding goes wide. Aria Carmona, she's going to come across the line, and she's going to win at Cleveland. Aria Carmona for Flipside Motorsports, and what seemingly just kind of a strategy experiment, they seemingly just won the race. Aria Carmona has just won her first race in the FBRL. She's a rookie. She's brand new, and they just kind of shoved her in here from the truck series as a shoe-in driver, but she is trying to prove to this team that she is definitely no shoe-in driver for the Hardee's National Series, and that we should take this girl seriously, because that was a fantastic run by this car. And enough of that, because we got to get over that and get through the rest of the field. Nick Breeding, RJ Bishop, after dominating all day, doesn't win the race. Nick Breeding had another shot to win, but just comes up so close once again. Bobo Jones, P4. Corey Williams, P5. Kev Shearer, P6. Tyler Black, P7. William Brock, P8. What a great run for this team. Jack Porkins, P9. And Sean Angel rounds out the top 10. As I'm going to have the results go down your screen as these guys go into the pits here, guys and girls, because the girls just won out there today. Aria Carmona is your newest winner in the FBRL. And Flipside Motorsports is a winning team in the Hardee's National Series. Thank you guys for watching here today, and I'll take you to the burnout while the rest of the results scroll through, but I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for the next race. Catch you later.